NFL. What a way to start the show. Classic, absolutely 1980s classic, brings love to our heart.
Hold on, stop. You need to learn when the red light comes on, you talk. Now redo everything you just said.
It truly is a never-ending story in the NFL, an absolute classic from the 1980s. Thank you so much for filling our hearts, giving us hope, prospering through, and the drama this week is absolutely a never-ending story. Nude, how the fuck you doing? How the fuck you living, buddy? I'm kind of doing a thing from free therapy, but I am the host of this show as well, face of the franchise.
You're not the host.
I am Lil Joe,
you just
aka
basically
Joe Here is my minor
Napoleon complex
of course,
got in the way.
Michael,
You're Napoleon,
the king of our studio.
You're Napoleon. You're Napoleon complex.
Shanuti, how you doing?
Your Napoleon complex hijacked the show.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know if that's good or not, but you know what? I'm good. I'm feeling it. It's NFL playoffs, and Joey just hijacked the fucking show, and then we're here now. Well, I don't even fight anymore. Every song that you hear here on out, it's probably Joey's, because Joey just doesn't even give me a chance to pick a song anymore. Doesn't even give me a chance to even write out an outline.
Future or Drake every time.
I picked Future and Drake once each time, and now it's a Future and Drake show. I think I picked Shaq Glizzy. I think I played Fat Trell at one point. I'm pretty sure I played our boy Jeff Mitchell and my boy Infinite twice, and it's still the Future and Drake show. Life is good, but not for Joey, because Joey thinks in his fucking head that I'm over here like a groupie waiting for what's it called, Loverboy, the album.
You are, first of all, so you're admitting you're my groupie in this statement. You're also admitting how
they
construct these songs.
Listen,
Where else are you going to hear a musical song?
I am not a 6-year-old wanting to get swimming lessons. I am not your groupie. I'm not a woman who is upset with her marriage and wants to have sex with you. All right. That is definitely not. I do not fit in any of those categories.
Listen. What other football show, are you going to have the beautiful Poopy Day song, a French classic by Francis Gill, or a never-ending story that is a beautiful, beautiful musical classic of I can't remember where it's from right now, that warms our hearts, and then you found Stranger Things when the boys and the whole crew in 11 once again saved planet Earth, all through a never-ending story. And Nude, let's see if your Steelers can save their season and their never-ending story. Let's see if the Washington football team, named to be determined later date, but probably not, can save their never-ending story.
I'm gonna need an apology somewhere in the show, because I was the only one who was on the Washington football team from the very beginning. From the beginning.
I gave you last week when we were in the studio. Not in the studio this week, just simply because Engineer Sam's out, can't do a video through there. But
people need vacations.
People need vacations. Got to give Engineer Sam his time. He's been grinding for us nonstop for the last 2 years. But no, listen. What the fuck were we talking about again? That's a THC right there for me.
Yeah, see, and he said he has the best memory.
I have good long-term memory. I have a good long-term.
Right. Well, I said I want my apology somewhere in the show for the Washington football team. I understand you gave me my due last week. I just want to hear that the Washington football team, whatever you want to keep saying, and Michael Shanuti's pick to win the NFC East came true. I should have put a future on it.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda is all I hear. And thank you for getting me on track there, THC. Has damaged the short-term memory just a little bit. But no, I mean, I'm not going to give you an apology. I've already given your due. I've given you your credit. You never gave my man Joe Flacco an apology as he deserves. So you're not going to get an apology
he got
now.
Benched. He got benched. He did not win it. He did not win. He did not win.
He got a starting position. He looked elite, and he kept him in the game. Listen.
He did not win a game.
He kept them in the game.
You were like you said, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
Best playoff run of all time. And listen, so I'm not going to apologize to you. I will apologize to the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date right now. For I doubted you all along. Jonathan Allen, you were there when I sent the shit to to Washington's home quarters here in Ashburn. You unfollowed me then. I apologize for that. Go ahead, send shit to me. Dan Snyder, you can even send shit to me, even though I hope you, as the piece of shit, walking piece of shit you are, burn in hell. That's a different conversation for a different time. I do apologize to the Washington organization that has the best Disney Plus, let's go get them, happy ending story I've ever seen. Let's take the Cinderella story all the way, baby.
Yeah, it's not done yet, so don't say it's the never ending story. But it is an never ending story with certain players such as Von Miller, because I'm pretty sure now he will never have sex with anybody again in his life. Because once
Oh,
you so like there's a difference between somebody saying, oh, she's a shady bitch, there's multiple guys, there's this, there's that on pregnancies, especially with athletes. I'm not surprised by that. I'm surprised that this man doesn't think that this woman will expose him, his ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend would expose me if I was eating a chicken wing the wrong way, let alone if I was an athlete, my unborn child, and the unborn child is, I don't know if he thought it wasn't his, but saying that I hope it's a miscarriage and I hope it's this, I hope it's that. And this is not the weirdest part. That is not the weirdest part.
break
Everybody
it down for
buckle up. Buckle up.
me.
My man goes at 7:25 in the morning after that whole miscarriage thing.
Yeah, no, not. By the way, that's very important. The time frame there. It's not. It's not nighttime. It's not like he's had a couple of drinks.
Zero.
This is. I just finished my morning workout, had breakfast, cleared
Finish
my this
feeding
pasta.
the chickens. Feeding the chickens comes and says,
Yeah, right,
"Are we
right.
gonna have some? Can we have some makeup sex? Or are we gonna have 2 more days of beef?" What kind of ultimatum as a human being, as an all-time, he's probably going to the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it, no question about
All
it.
time cockhead. Yeah, all time cockhead. Congratulations,
And
Von Miller. You're up there with Kevin Federline now. Congratulations. You're
Von
up there
Miller.
with and you're up there with the elite. You're up there with J.R. Smith. Congratulations.
He's going down. He's going down. He's probably going to go down as one of the best defenders in our generation with Aaron Donald, the Watt brothers, all that shit. And then all of a sudden, this man does this crap, and now we're gonna say, like, I knew Von Miller somewhere in his head there was nothing, like, there was a screw loose. I don't know why, but I always thought that he just didn't seem like a normal person. But a normal
I
person,
mean, when you
Joey.
dye your hair purple as a grown ass man, come on.
I mean, come on, man. Like at the same time, like I know that if the kid's not yours, the kid's not yours. Great, I got it. Like say the kid's not yours, but wishing upon a child that should be miscarriaged because this bitch said it was your kid. I'm only laughing because you preface it with makeup sex because you want to have sex with this woman again. Do this dosi do one more fucking
For any
time.
PC listeners, let me elaborate here, just in case anybody, the outrage police is coming to
Go
get us
off,
right
King.
now.
Go off,
In
King.
case the outrage police is coming to get us, let's be very, very clear. We are commending him for his pure cockheadedness. We are not saying something this is what other men should do. We are not saying something that anybody should do or participate in. We are just applauding the outrageous, raw 725, what about makeup sex energy that Von Miller presented. That is why he is in the Hall of Fame now of players like Antonio Brown, like J.R. Smith, like Birdman, even though he's not an athlete. You know what I mean, though, and especially Kevin Federline, who's still getting 100K a month off Britney Spears. Salute it, salute it, salute it. Congratulations, you're in an elite club, and that's what we mean by that. You are, sir, a certified cockhead.
It's funny you say that because what's his favorite. You know what's his favorite animal, right? It's chickens.
Right.
So he's a
Right.
chicken. He's a cock. He's a chicken, and he doesn't want to assume responsibility in this child's life. That's fine. I mean, what athlete doesn't nowadays? I'm pretty sure
He's
the only
leading. He's
person.
leading hard into it, right
Yeah,
on the nose, baby. I salute it.
yeah, exactly. My man's grinding. He's grinding. He's trying to get back into the NFL somehow because he's been gone for what? He tore his ACL this year. He's gonna be
Yep.
back next year. My man's
Yep.
just he's a dickhead. He's just a dickhead.
Congratulations for a certified cockhead of the
Yeah.
week, nominated for certified cockhead of the year. Cuckoo! Even though that's a bird and not a chicken. I mean, what sounds a chicken make new?
Cock-a-doodle-doo. No.
Yep, that's a rooster. We'll take it. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Moving right along.
Moving right along. So now with the never-ending story that is COVID.
See this beautiful theme I've created now? See the theme that gets created? Also, people, something I didn't get to get in there, just one quick side note, I promise, is I tie in these themes to the show. Each song I select has to do with the theme of the show. And look at, you're tying it in beautifully. And when then we had the poop incident with Lamar when he held in his shit for 2 months, Poupée de Sang. Perfect. I tie it in. I give the show continuity. I give it layers. I give it a little bit more. Mastifo. You're
You need
welcome.
to stop.
Continue. Go East.
You're blowing smoke up your ass. Because I
Second
just
tier
said,
co-host. Go ahead.
because you know where I'm going with this. Because Hitler pokes again. Hitler does it again, man. Hitler does it again.
Yep.
Well, we don't know who to blame in this situation. Everybody on the Browns basically has COVID. Let's just say, call it out. It is. Somehow it's not Baker, it's not Landry, it's not Chubb, but everybody fucking else has it. So what's going on? Now they're going to go play in Pittsburgh on Sunday. We'll get to Pittsburgh's nonsense later because I got a whole song and dance about it.
I know you're real excited and real proud of your team
my
right now.
God.
Real happy with the squad.
Right now, we're sticking with the Browns. Their first playoff berth in however many years, 18 years.
Yep.
Now they have to deal with this COVID. Now they're
18
going
exactly,
to divisional rival on the road at Sunday Night Football. The lights are on, and they're going to have to play this game. They're going to have to play this game because there is no way in God's green earth, Roger Goodell is going to be like, nope, we can't postpone the game. We can't do this. We can't do that because the playoffs have to go. We have to collect our money. We're so close. We're I only three kids die. It's fine. 3 kids are dead. It's fine.
Only spilled a couple grandmothers. They were out the way anyway. Who cares?
93-year-old Tommy Lasorda, R.I.P., died, whatever. But anyways, this is crazy. This is crazy to the point where now we're in a situation where the first team has it in the playoffs. They're going to play, and we're going to see what happens. But now it's a lose-lose scenario for a lot of things, right? Browns made the playoffs to do what? Now to put a B team out there against the Steelers, who rested their players before this game, and they legit had a shot. They legit had a shot of beating the Steelers. Now, who knows what the shot is now? It's probably like 70-30, 60-40, but it was a 50-50 split. As a Steelers fan, I was going to say it's a 50-50 split. Chubb was running the ball well. Landry is doing his thing. The defense, on the other hand, is garbage, whatever, but our offense wasn't really good anyway, so we'll see what it's like, literally the shit against the wall and see what breaks first. But at the same time,
right,
it's
throwing the classic throw the gum up against the wall and pray it sticks.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is something to watch because at first, no matter if the Steelers won or not, I thought the champion was going to be the champion, and it was going to be a bigger champion than other champions because they went through COVID season. They did all this shit.
Can you say that sentence again for me?
I thought the champion of this year would be more of a champion. The champions of past, because the champion of this year had to champion through a regular season, a playoff, a disease, a social injustice, all this shit, and won this championship. Steelers or not, I would have given it to anybody. But now it's just like,
thank you for revising. It was so much clearer after you revised it. I appreciate that.
I suck my dick. So it's basically all these different things are going on. Basically all these things are happening. Where we are now, I just don't know how I feel about the Browns playing with like a B team in the playoffs, because then we're going to talk about like the Packers and the Saints and the Chiefs who have legit shots. Now, I'm not saying the Browns don't have a legit shot, but those are the teams that we all pick to see and hope to do well, especially so.
At this point, it's like saying the Bears or the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not have a shot. I mean, I had them before I completely knew, gave me a little heads up and said, hey, by the way, don't forget there's 25 players out with that THC brain of yours. And I said, okay, let me revise our brackets, and I will be revising and resending that out to you. But yeah, it's a pretty obvious blunder to the Browns once again. I mean, and it's what Roger Goodell does best, as News already said and already covered. I don't have anything else to add. I mean, more blood is spilled as he grins and grits and just collects another paycheck. And anyway, Browns, it's not like Browns are good for money when they make it far in the playoffs. Who cares? Let's get those big market teams that we know are going to go ahead and make it through anyway. There was no chance this delay was ever going to happen. And Browns, once again, are getting a big dildo with barbed wire and all over it with salt imprinted up the butt.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is something that's going to keep going. We're going to watch. I'm going to watch a close eye on those teams I did say. The Chiefs, the Packers, all those teams that everybody really really are hoping to win a championship and are the money teams, and see what they do if like Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers does it, because I'm still under the assumption if one of those players gets it, the NFL will do everything in its power to get them on the field. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly correct. They'll make it work for them if one of those big money teams goes ahead
exactly,
and has an incident like that. So, um,
exactly.
our last week 17 regular season disappointments, surprises, and games that caught our eyes of the week. Nude, I'll start us out with one that I went to the pedestal for them. I thought them. No one really saw it. This was kind of my Washington football team, named to be determined later date, but probably not call of the year that you had. See, another credit. See, I'm giving you credit. I'm hyping you up. I'm sizing you up. You got to accept that. With that being said, it was the Dolphins. Dolphins, you let me down. You disappointed me. Um, I was on record saying that I believe that Fitzmagic should have stayed in while he was hot, while he had this team rolling. That defense was fantastic, even though they had a couple injuries that I think kind of caused them to fall to the wire there at the end as well. And then with Tua, for whatever reason, they just lost their luster. They lost their, I mean, not for whatever reason. It was a rookie that just kind of still figuring things out versus Fitzmagic, who's pulling off no look wins, right? So I gotta call you out here, Dolphins. You truly ripped out my heart and stomped on this one. I was ready to ride the Dolphin train. I had my old Marine roommate who's a Dolphins fan calling me, ready to roll, ready to blow up the whole entire playoffs and see the Dolphins all the way to the Super Bowl. I definitely think they would have had a shot if they made it in. I do think they could have won a game or two. I do. Not gonna
One game, yeah, one
not
game.
not gonna happen now. Dolphins, you broke my heart.
So I'm on the assumption I'm the same way. I mean, the Dolphins really were the team that had a lot of moxie, a lot of like intangibles for them to win. And I think they're still going to be a team beat next year. And I think they're going to have a lot of things to build on. I
Yeah.
just really think now it's time to actually have the hard, serious question: is Tua the quarterback for you? Because now you have the third overall pick, right behind the Jets and the Jags. Zach Wilson is staring you in the face.
Yep.
The quarterback from BYU, who everybody's in love with, and obviously we know Fields
Unless
anymore.
Todd McShay, of course, thinks they're going to the Patriots at 15, which is just horseshit. But
We'll see what happens. Todd McShay, man, Jesus Christ, that man can change his mind in a win like the government.
oh yeah, like I guarantee you, 24 hours before Wilson's going to be in the top five.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As he should.
So the Dolphins really need to have a serious conversation. Is Tua the guy? Is Tua? For me personally, I think Tua is okay. I think Tua is good enough to be a quarterback in the NFL, lead your team to where they need to go. I think his ceiling is a little bit above Jimmy G, and that's from first look. And I hate to say that, but if that's how you want to build your team, that's how you want to build your team. And I'm excited to see what Flores does. I think if he made it was between him and Stefanski for the coach of the year. Whoever made the playoffs won it, and whoever didn't is not going to win it. So now Stefanski wins the coach of the year. Tua should
Not
have a
Sean.
bright
You don't
luck.
think it's Sean
Sean Payton?
McDermott?
Oh, no, because of the whole 18-year drought and all that stuff. Sean's been doing it for a while.
We'll get to that because I
Yeah,
disagree with you there. But I mean, again, and also new adding on top of that, 30-point blowout when you're fighting for your playoff lives is not good. Allowing you're one of the best defenses of all year. Allowed before this game an average around I believe 20 points a game to teams,
right. Have
and
some
and
heart.
you and then you allow almost a 60 burger. It's just disgusting. It's
Have some
not
heart.
what you want to see to end the season.
So I guess my disappointment is the same as your disappointment. Mine is the Arizona Cardinals, kind of the darlings of everything. A lot of people thought they were going to win the division at one point, and now
Yep.
they are the team looking out
This
of the
show even
NFC.
hyped them up and gassed them up a couple times early.
We're big. We love Kyler. We love Buda Baker. We love DeAndre
Yep.
Hopkins. I
Mm-hmm.
love Chandler Jones.
Mm-hmm.
This team is built to win games, and they just didn't. And like it's so funny because like they said Kyler was injured. And Kyler's not playing. They're gonna have the backup quarterback against the Rams backup quarterback who was playing for their playoff spot, and it's crazy. And at one point they said Kyler go out there and try to salvage the season. Kyler comes in at a little bit too late to save it, but he looked great. So I'm under the impression of what was going on down the stretch, and this is great. I mean, this is kind of crazy to think that the team we thought that was going to win this division didn't make it, and we said at least a wild card spot. But now it's the Bears because the Bears kind of fell backwards into everything. because the Cardinals gave up a lot. Like the Bears should be kissing the feet of Cliff Kingsbury because Cliff Kingsbury basically
You
said,
got it. Good recovery.
Kyler Murray, you're too hurt. Forget our playoff lives. We're looking for a future. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the third. I'm more so disappointed in them because they were the team other than the Dolphins to actually look good. Dolphins had all their problems, yes, and the Fitzpatrick thing, but the Cardinals look solid, and all for naught for that Hail
They both
Mary.
did at certain points. I mean, I agree. Yeah, that defense has a lot of potential. I think it's another team, like you said about the Dolphins. It's going to be tough to beat next year. I think that ultimately, though, yeah, it's a team that I'm not worried about going into the future either, though, because I think this is a team that has, kind of like you're saying, has these pieces together that are built for the future. You still got some young guys. Kyler's still kind of figuring his things out. We got to remember it's only his second year, right? So, I mean, hats off to what they did. It was a little bit of a disappointment kind of on how as you said, the darling coach, Cliff Kingsbury, and the whole Cardinals went out very anticlimactic, I would say. But I feel good about their chances next year. I definitely think it's a team to fear next year.
Yeah, for sure. So who was your surprise of the week, big dog?
Well, so surprise and game that caught my eye, got to tie it together. I think this is the most talked, discussed, overanalyzed game of the week, and well, we would be remiss if we did not discuss it. We are not here to go ahead and tell you, we're not going to pull a Dan Orlovsky and say this is the most thing that's ever happened.
Jesus Christ.
We're not going to do the Giants routine, all this, that, and the third, but we got to talk about, obviously, the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not, beating the Philadelphia Eagles in controversial fashion after the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not, was up by 3. They go ahead and Eagles pull Jalen Hurts. I don't know if you heard this. Nate, have you heard about this? I don't know if you know about
No,
this.
I never. I didn't. Not for the last 5 fucking days.
Let me fill you in. So essentially, the call was to go ahead and put in Nate Sudfeld, yada, yada. We all know the story. Controversy explodes. I'm simply at this, and we're just going to address this right at the forefront. I don't feel bad for anybody in the situation except for Zach Ertz and Jason Kelce.
Yep.
Except for Zach Ertz, Jason Kelce, and the rest of that O-line, and the rest of that defense, and that wide receiving core, and the running backs, and da-da-da-da. Okay, that's who I feel bad for, who had a shot to win this game. Zach Ertz, last game with the Philadelphia Eagles, he poured blood, sweat, fucking tears. No one's talking about Zach at all this week, but he stayed at that stadium until 2 a.m. and said, "Thank you, Eagles, for everything," and still gave them blood and still gave them tears and thanked them for the best organization, in his words, to work for, right? You treat a guy that still, after that whole controversy, still gives you that, still says that, and you can't give the fight to the guy. You can't allow the guy to have fight and put in the quarterback that's going to give you the best chance to win the game. That is who I ultimately feel bad for. Obviously, Jason Kelce's been talked about through and through, so I won't cover that too much, but same boat for me. I mean, it's just utter disrespect to the guys that gave you their blood, sweat, and tears for over a decade now.
So we talked about this in the pre-show and about how I felt and everything. So now I am at a different take.
Also, quick side note, not to steal another show's thunder, but I am not apologizing. We got in there. Giants, you only won 6 games. Suck my cock, suck my balls right after a 5-mile run.
That's what I'm going to preface. And that's literally one of the best quotes I heard was from one Giants player, and it was from Logan Ryan, the guy who played safety for New England for however many years. He even said it. He said, "We only played this many games, and we only won this many games. Now, if our destiny is controlled by another team, we already are out of the playoffs." Like that is such a great saying because it's like I remember it vividly for the Steelers 2 years ago. We needed the Browns to beat the Ravens, and
I remember this.
The Steelers had that they controlled their own destiny the entire way until the very because they lost to 3 teams in a row. They beat the Bengals last week, but the Ravens were hot with Lamar and all this stuff. So I told myself, I was like, they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it because of this reason. I was like, and Logan Ryan said it. He's like, we should have won certain games that we lost, and that's where we are now. Because
Yep.
you put your hands in a coach and a team that number one is your division rival. Number two have nothing to play for. Number three, they are. I mean, whether people want to understand this or not,
Hmm.
picking three spots, sixth, sixth or ninth, that is a huge difference in a team's
Hmm.
morale. In the sense of you can get somebody like case in point this year, Micah Parsons, who is a great linebacker, instead of reaching for maybe a wide receiver or reaching for somebody. Now, I understand.
Or a
This is
franchise
what I
quarterback to that point. You could maybe steal Zach Wilson at 6, right? So
exactly, exactly, and that's what I wanted to tell everybody. Jalen Hurts wasn't world beating anybody that night. He wasn't. He wasn't. And yes, Doug Peterson did one mistake, and I think he should have done because a lot of players talked about it at the press conference on Thursday or on Friday. He should have said this to everyone: Nate Sudfeld is gonna have a chance to play in this game. After that, there's no controversy. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's
I
gonna
will
happen.
say there was some rumors or some people saying that he mentioned that it may have, like, some Philadelphia. I have some Philadelphia friends that are real insider there, and they basically told me, hey, he was kind of suggesting it. He didn't come out right and say it, but he was kind of suggesting Sudfeld may get the second half.
Right.
I will
Right.
say that, but it was never right out said, and the way it was done as well is why it sparked the controversy, I think, and is why it there's all the outrage we get now.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think there's any problem with what the Eagles did, in my opinion, because of that reason. Now, the situation looks bad. Now, that's what I'm trying to say, because we're going to say that about Juju here in a second, because
Yeah.
perception is everything. And what you're doing, even though it's not, you know what you're doing, and the team knows what you're doing, other people don't. Now, I guess I'll preface this with my like everything is like okay,
Before you
hunky
go in
dory.
and move on to the
So
Juju, I just want to add, do you think at all, and we kind of talked about this already, so I kind of know where you go here, but I want the people to hear. Do you believe at all? Because I kind of texted you this when it first happened, and we both kind of agreed there's no escape regardless, that this was a get me the fuck out of Philly move by Doug Peterson.
well, no, because Doug was already expected to come back next year. I think it's more of like we don't have a God's name in hell of what we're doing next year. We don't know what we're doing. It might be Jalen. It might be Wentz. It might be Sudfeld. It might be God knows who. It might be Jason Kelsey gone. Ertz gone. We don't know what we're going to get next year with the Eagles. And I told people a lot of this. The best, and that's why I picked the Washington football team to win the division earlier. And it's not because I thought, oh, I'm going to make a hot take and blah, blah, blah. No, I just think the Cowboys, who is my surprise of the week, by the way, I'm going to segue into it. Eagles and Giant, or just those two, Eagles and the Cowboys, are in cap hell. And if they are not going to be able to win games, they're going to be stuck in the mud for so many years while the Giants and the Washington football team are going to beat each other up for that division. And that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I agree. That's well put, man. I mean, it's we're here. We earned our chance regardless. We got to the stage. We got to the dance. We're here, and I think we have a solid shot as well to. And we'll get to this a little bit later to shock the world a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess I'll do my same surprise and game of the week because it kind of comes together with everything we're saying is the Giants and the Cowboys. I mean, credit to the Cowboys; they did enough to have a shot at going to the division. I bet somebody already $20 of the Cowboys not making the playoffs. Thank you for that.
Cash.
I just don't think I don't think the Cowboys are good. I don't think the Cowboys will ever be good. I don't think the Cowboys have a shot in hell to be anything in this lifetime to be great. They're gonna not pay Dak. You heard it here first. Dak is not gonna be a Cowboy next year. Zeke is sweating all the money. He is. I don't know what's going on with Zeke. I don't know what's going on with any of it. The defense doesn't look good. The Giants beat them with no Saquon. Daniel Jones didn't even throw that well. Like the balls that Daniel Jones threw didn't look good. Nate Stepfield's balls look better. That's what I was trying to say. And it's just like,
He's been looking 50-50 all year, right? He is a definition of a bipolar
oh
quarterback.
my gosh, and it's just crazy. And I and credit to the Giants trying to win the game and having
Hey,
a
you got
shot
a
at
hot
the
take, by the way,
division.
man. You keep looking at that watch of yours.
No, it's Siri keeps coming up because I'm talking so loud and thinks I'm talking to it. But so that game was just a very good game in the sense of you saw both teams kind of like pushing to the limit, pushing to what they need to do to win this game, so they have a shot just in case the Eagles win. But again, we go back to them saying to what we're saying. You won 6 games. Yes, the Washington football team did not win that many more games than you, but they won enough to control their own destiny. And here's why I'm saying it's a surprise. I'm surprised that there's so much backlash. I'm just surprised by everybody that whether it was the Cowboys or the Giants winning that each player would have said the same thing because of what happened on Sunday night. And it's just asinine. And I just don't. I think we're taking away a credible season from Ron Rivera, from Chase Young, from
Yeah.
Alex Smith, and it pisses me off to the point where it's just like I understand what everybody saw and I understand what everybody feels, but at the same time, do not discredit their NFC East championship because they beat pretty good teams. They beat a lot of good teams to get to this point. They beat enough teams to control their destiny. I'm sorry, Cowboys, you didn't. I'm sorry, Giants, you did it. Eagles, you definitely didn't. So shut the fuck up and enjoy your high draft picks because all 3 of you are going to need it. Because I think the Washington football team is here to stay. I'll talk. I mean, in the offseason, we'll talk about what they need and what they don't need and stuff like that. But credit to them, credit to the Washington football team. Surprised that this was the biggest story in the NFL this year. In this year, to be honest, it was the biggest story. Did the Eagles tank on purpose? And I'm just so my head is shaking, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. That's all I'm gonna say at the end of it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, last thing before we move on to our war predictions is, I one for coming from a fan of a team that has easily the worst owner in all of sports. Cowboys, you're in second place. You're in second place. I will say that he's slightly better. Jerry Jones is slightly better than the literally satanic little cocksucker and human form that is Dan Snyder. But things aren't going to change your ship until he's out of the ship. Even if it means giving it to his son. His son's been waiting what? His son is like 60 himself, and he's been waiting for 30 years to take over the helm. Give it to your son. I guarantee you, though, you'll start seeing better production. Jerry, you're like 150, buddy. Retired, hang it up. Go get blowjobs from 25-year-old strippers or whatever the fuck you want to do, but don't run a team anymore. You can't do it anymore. And with everyone hating on my team, listen, can we not get credit? Can we never get credit? Can we not get credit for the most, again, having the worst owner in sports franchise history, dealing with all his shit, all that turmoil, losing our name. Ron Rivera, you've heard it all. Ron Rivera getting cancer treatments in the locker room at halftime. Alex Smith coming back from near death. I mean, dealing with the Dwayne Haskins experience, turning a culture completely around and getting leaders like Chase Young and Terry McLaurin, now captain position, into these roles to make it an effective locker room and an environment that got us enough wins because of that environment, because of the pieces we put in together. And now we are here. We are at the dance. This is our true never-ending story. Why the song was selected today. Because the never-ending story of the drama and all this bullshit that we've gone through. And here we are to continue our never-ending story at the dance, baby.
Exactly. Now, the best part of our show. Award predictions.
Oh, yeah, baby. The segment everyone looks forward to all year, dude. Let's start it off. I got us a little list here so I can keep us on track. We are going to start with... Dun, 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 dun. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. You remember that song? Anywho.
Jesus Christ.
Starting off, the NFL predictions with Face of the Franchise. These are almost guaranteed and locked because we are the experts. We give you the in-depth you can pretty much count on. Put it in the bank. Go to fan that these are who is going to win the awards this year. At least all the people I pick. Starting off, Comeback Player of the Year. Do we even have to do it? Comeback Player of the Year?
I feel like we're pretty locked in step with all these. So, Alex Smith.
And for all the reasons we already mentioned, we don't have to get into it. We've covered it in this show endlessly. Shout out
Next.
Alex. I mean,
Next.
we don't need to say anything. There's nothing that
The
needs to be said.
second is Ben, and then like maybe third is JJ. But like it's Alex by a landslide. I'm just giving you 2 and 3, just if you want to see somebody, if you want those dark horses. But I think that's lock and step. I
I
think
would
it's
say
lock and
Gronk
step.
maybe too, to a certain extent, but
Yeah,
that's a dark horse.
dark horse.
Moving right along to the one we're gonna have a little bit of argument on here. Coach of the Year award, I think it's far and away. There is no doubt, in my opinion, it's Sean McDermott. And I'll give you quick reasons why, Nude. It's the culture he instilled. It's he changed a winning attitude, a confident attitude in Buffalo. It's clear. You got a guy in Josh Allen looking like, in my opinion, besides maybe Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the league right now. Easily the best quarterback in the league besides Aaron Rodgers right now. And not only that, Stephon Diggs is having a career year. He's looking absolutely unstoppable. That defense filled with no names, those who shall not be named, are absolutely dominating and probably the most underrated defense of the year, in my opinion, in the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott, hats off. What you've done is truly incredible. You're coach of the year. Why am I wrong, dude?
You're not. I mean, that's a good pick. I mean, I'm just gonna pick the guy who just ended an 18-year drought. A guy who actually put this team together even after OBJ got hurt, after Miles got COVID, after all these different things happened to him. Nick Chubb on IR. They still made the playoffs. They had to win to get in. I mean, it's Stefanski, man. Like let's be honest. Like the
He had to
guy
deal with a lot.
had
He
to
had to deal
run.
with the aftermath of the kitchens and a whole other decade of just basically
And
us as
it's
head coach.
like, and it's so funny because if he wasn't going to win this season, Baker probably's gone. He's probably gone. Like, it was a one-shot thing, and he made the playoffs. Unfortunately for him, like we talked about earlier, this whole COVID thing might be a one-and-done thing for them. But at the same time, he deserves Coach of the Year. I think it was between him and Flores, whoever got their team the furthest. But I'm going
Why
Stefanski,
don't you
and I hate
think
to say
Sean
that.
McDermott has
So.
any sort of shot? That's what I
It's
want to
not.
know.
It's not. No. It's not the shot part. It's the more of a. It's more of like for the coach of the year. I like to think of it as the guy. Like Sean McDermott had a great team, and I'm pretty sure we all picked the Buffalo Bills to make the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills to do all these different things.
You're saying a
Maybe not
coach that
this
kind of shocked
massively.
us and we
Shocked the
didn't see it come.
world.
Right.
We didn't see it coming. I didn't pick the Browns to make the playoffs. I did not. I picked the Ravens and the Steelers to be in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure I picked the Colts. I think I picked the Broncos at one point and the Raiders.
Yeah,
But
he did. Drew Luck, baby. Team Drew Luck.
Team Drew Lock till I die. But the Browns exceeded expectations, and they're here now. So we'll see what happens. And I think he's the coach of the year. So
I disagree, but we'll move right along to go ahead and offensive rookie of the year. Offensive rookie of the year. I think. Listen, I mean, we both know who it's going to. There's no doubt. We don't have to spend much time
quarterback
on this
award.
one either.
It's a quarterback award.
It's a quarterback award. It's the rookie quarterback award. It should go, to my opinion, to Justin Jefferson. What he did was absolutely unreal.
All pro, second team All Pro.
Yeah, incredible, man. And not only that, I mean, we know how I felt about Antonio. I just want to clarify Antonio Gibson because he got injured because he got injured. He unfortunately took himself out of the dark horse race. There was some running backs, James Robinson, that had a much better rookie year than him. So hats off to James Robinson as well. But Justin Jefferson, you deserve it. Justin Herbert, you're going to get it. Moving right along.
Moving on.
Yeah, real nice and easy there. Defensive rookie of the year. I think this should be very easy.
Next. It's a
Congratulations, Chase Young. Thank you for changing our locker room.
There's nobody. I mean, like I can name you the other guys, but in honesty, yeah. Next.
He's gonna regret calling out Tom Brady. We'll fucking see.
Yeah.
Moving right along to offense player of the year. Who you got?
Now, this one, everybody might be different, but you got to give it to the guy who ran for 2K, man. The guy who ran for 2K.
Yep.
17 touchdowns.
Yep.
The man is an absolute fucking force, and he's the reason why I'm picking the Tennessee Titans to win this week. I don't care what anybody says about the Ravens. I don't care what anybody says about Ryan Tannehill. If 22 is in the backfield, 22 is going to get the ball 20 times. He might run for 200 yards, but you better hope to God you could keep him in within 100 because if he goes for over 100, you lost the game. Derrick Henry, Offensive Player of the Year. Sucks he can't be MVP because it's
Yep.
a fucking quarterback award, but Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it's got to be Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is Mr. January, if you remember, of course. Mr. October and Reggie Jackson, same kind of deal here. He is Mr. January. He is the king of January. He is going to at least, I say bare minimum in this game, get 150 yards minimum. Yeah, it's got to go. It's got to go to 22. I couldn't agree with you more, but I think it will end up going to Aaron Rodgers.
So we're just going to do MVP right now? MVP, Aaron Rodgers?
No, I said for Offensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to get Offensive Player of the Year, even though it should go to Mr. 2K.
You think Aaron Rodgers? Oh, yeah, because you have a different MVP. Okay, go ahead.
Well, we'll see. Defensive Player of the Year. It should be Chase Young.
All right. Funny joke.
Not a funny joke. Should be Chase Young.
Funny joke.
Young.
Because the guy led the league in sacks, led the league in quarterback hits, led the league in pressures, led the league in a lot of different categories. We can keep going, but he is legit the cornerstone of our defense, the cornerstone of my heart. Number 90, TJ Watt. He's
going to say, just say his fucking name already.
He's gonna get a blank check. He's gonna get a blank check this year. He's gonna be the highest paid pass rusher. Well deserved. I'm not gonna be mad about it. And we're gonna get rid of that TikTok fool. Next.
Moving right along. Aaron Donald, dark horse, but probably not gonna get it.
We'll see.
MVP, the award we have all been waiting for. Nude, who you got? Who you love?
I mean, come on. It's the guy who was doubted all year. It's the guy who made the first ever quarterback drafted in the first round to not play a single snap in the NFL. He is Discount Double Check. He is State Farm's very own. He made Devontae Adams get close to me to picking him instead of a guy who ran for 2K yards. It is a man the hour, too sweet to be sour. He's 12. He's number 12 in your book, but number 1 in your hearts in Green Bay. Cheeseheads, Aaron, the man Rodgers. He deserves it. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. I just can't explain what he did this year. I cannot explain it. My man just did what he did. He shut the haters up. He told Jordan Love you might get traded. Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers.
He's a bad man, as our good friend Stephen A. likes to say. Shout out to the Pat McAfee show. I know you watched those interviews this year. They've been fantastic. It may be fellow competition, but shout out Pat McAfee show for what they've done this year with the Aaron Rodgers interview. Made him more likable in all of our eyes. I don't care what they say about you. I don't care what they say about you and your brother's relationship. I don't care what they say about the type of man you are, because I know what type of man you are, Aaron Rodgers, and that is an MVP. Congratulations, buddy. You are the king of the throat. You are the ultimate. Goddamn. You're the ultimate badass athlete. And I love you, Aaron. And I love you. Fuck the haters. Moving right along to the moment we've truly all been waiting for. Michael Pharaoh Shanuti is, of course, our playoff brackets. Let's break it down. Let's tell the people what we got. I'll give you your odds. I'll give you the chances. I'll give you all of that. We have. And let me make sure I have the absolute correct schedule here. Yep, I do. Okay. Let me move you a little bit in my screen. All right. Starting off the day, we have a 1 o'clock Saturday playoff game. I'm fucking psyched. Starting off, Colts and Bills. Bills are -6.5. Colts are over 50, and it's over 51, over under 51. Let's just go ahead. Let's pick these games. We'll post our brackets on IG, on our socials, all that good stuff, right? And then what we'll go ahead and do is tell everybody our system, which we really quickly before we get started, which is partially on me that this is what we're doing because, of course, I got lazy. I got stoner brain. I fucked up. And I'm taking the hit. So because I basically stopped tracking the last 5 weeks, my bum ass that lives in the hobo village outside when you're exiting DC. I hope we all know what I'm talking about right now in Hobo Village. That's where I belong. And I did not count the last 5 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead, and because of that, I have volunteered to take the football to the nuts. Nude said pick 1 or 2. That is your punishment. And we are now I think we didn't officially decide, but let's say for Flatliners, we're doing playoff brackets. First round 2 points, second round 4 points. division championship games is going to be 6 points. Super Bowl 8 points.
All right, go ahead.
So let's get started, baby. Again, we'll post our brackets for you on IG as well. Lock it on mine because I promise you, you will be able to pay that first mortgage off, as I always say. With that being said, let's go ahead. Again, Colts versus Bills. Bills are at home. Over-unders 51.5. Bills are obviously favored -6.5. Nude, who you like, who you love.
Give me the over and give me the Bills. I think the Bills do it in a route. I don't think the Colts are going to come in very hot. I don't think they are very hot right now. I know that Jonathan Taylor came off one of his best running performances.
Hold on 1 second, dude. Yes, Mom, go ahead. Mom has to do laundry, everybody.
Jesus. And if Aaron Rodgers wasn't Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen would have been the MVP of this fucking league. So.
Good old Jonathan Allen. Yeah, no, it's Bills here. I'll take the points. I'll take the over. Bills and Colts games have been overs all year. Easy game for me there. And then we'll go ahead and go right to the next Saturday game. I almost wanted to go to the next game I have here on my sheet, but I'm going to go ahead and go to Rams versus Seahawks. Seahawks here are favored -3.5. Over-under is 42. Give me the Rams to cover, and I even got the Rams. Got the Rams money line. Got the Rams money line as well.
No.
I mean, that's what I have in my bracket, so I got to stick to it. So I'm going to say that. But Rams money line, and I say let's go ahead and go with the under here. Pick under.
So I have the Rams covering but not winning, and I have the over, and I have Seattle winning the game. So that's my bet. I'm taking Rams to cover, but Seattle wins.
Seattle wins. And you know what, dude? I know we're kind of just picking the wild card games right now. What we can do is just read off our bracket after we're done here and just kind of tell you why we think who we have. Cool?
That's
cool.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the next game up is going to be the game where I will literally be shitting a brick. I will be losing about 20 pounds of fat, pure sweat. Newt, are we linking up for this one? What are we doing here?
Solidarity, baby. Washington football team, money line, over. Chase Young is going to sack that pretty boy bitch. It is time for the Washington football team to become something that I know they're going to become, a force. Let's go. Chase Young, it's your time to shine, baby. 2.5 sacks. Give me that prop. Let's do it.
And we'll totally ignore the slip-up you had there. How dare you? You racist piece of shit. You use that slur, Washington football team name, to be determined at a later date, but probably not. Yeah, money line, easy, baby. Solidarity. Listen, everybody who is anybody and any expert in the whole entire world is picking the Bucs. That's exactly why the football team's going to pull off the upset here. That D-line is going to torture Tom Brady. That offense is not going to be able to get going. People are really underestimating our secondary, which is a lot better than people think. Shout out Curl. I'm going to tell you right now, get ready to be shocked. Washington football team name to be determined at a later date, but probably not. Will go on to play the Packers and lose. With that being said, although if you have it my bracket way, they actually end up facing the Saints, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Moving on to Sunday, 1 o'clock. Your second favorite football team in the whole world is going to see the Tennessee Titans.
Titans, whatever. Fuck the Ravens. I'll pick against them. I don't give a fuck. Over. Shut the facility down. It's over. John Tafford, shut this bitch down.
Over under 54.5.
I said over. I said.
Oh, you did. Okay. I thought I heard it. I just want to make sure.
Shut this bitch down. Derrick Henry is gonna make the birds cry like babies. Get them the fuck out. I'm gonna be either happy or sad by the time the Steelers game is gonna roll around. At the end of it, it might be a little bit of both. It might be a little bit of one, but fuck them.
Nude and Joe play off on the same page here in the gambling corner. Love it, need it, got it. Moving right along to, of course, not quite yet the game you want to get to because we got one more game first, and that is the Mirrors versus the Saints. Saints, I'll take the. I don't care what the points are. It's 10. Give it to me. Over 47. Over. Nude and Joe on the same page here.
Yeah, let's just go.
All right, in time for the game. Nude has been waiting for.
Just give everybody the lines. Give them your picks, and I'll take it from there.
We have the Cleveland Browns going to Dirty Burgie. That is Pittsburgh. The 2 seed, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are -6. The over-under is 47.5. Little Joe has the Steelers now covering, as my bracket will be updated and changed, has the Steelers now covering, has the under at 47.5. Nude. Who you like? Who you love? Do you want my mom to come in and pick for a second first?
COVID. It gave the Steelers.
My mom says she does not want to be involved. That's what she said.
Thank you, Mrs. Dorian. COVID. I mean, you saw the Browns. They're reeling. You have things going on. The Hitler man told them you have to play this game. Okay, for me, it's a lose-lose situation. The Steelers win. Oh, you played the B team. Steelers lose. Oh, you lost to the B team. Okay, that's fine. All dandy. Great. Wash my hand of it. I don't care. We're going to go and play Buffalo, probably lose. I didn't say the Steelers are going to win either way, but whatever. All of a sudden, TikTok boy. His name is Juju Smith-Schuster. His name is Boo Boo now. His name is Boo Boo Smith-Schuster because he's a bum.
Boo Boo. Sounds like a fucked up Teletubby.
Now, here's the
listen,
thing.
Boo Boo. You can't be on the show. We gotta cut you out. You make everyone uncomfortable. You gotta.
The thing. I'm gonna try to wrap this up in the next 2 minutes. Perception is everything. I said that about the Eagles. Perception is everything when you say stupid statements. Now, here's the deal. You try to do a Tomlinism. You're not Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin makes Tomlinisms. You're Juju. You make TikToks and you try to do stupid shit. That's all you do. Do TikTok, stick to it. Don't do it on people's logos. Do it whenever you can. Just don't do it around me. All right? It's basically like when I tell people of like the public affection thing. It's like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you like. Just don't kiss and make out in front of me. Do it over there. Juju, do your little TikToks, do your little shit over there. Don't bring it over here. Do it over there. Now, come on, man. Don't do this. Why are you giving motivation to a team that doesn't need more motivation? That doesn't need any of this shit. You're giving it to the guy.
But he's been doing it all year. That's the main reason why you guys didn't decide your OC didn't go undefeated.
You're doing it to the quarterback that grabbed his nuts because the guy only said one word, Ted. One word. Now, that being said, Steelers -6, I'm taking it. Over, I'm taking it. The Steelers are going to win.
Picking the game.
The Steelers are going to win this game. But for God's sake, I'm going to be sweating. I'm going to be I'm going to be yelling. I'm going to call a lot of people fat that don't need to be called fat. I'm going to call Juju.
You really do have the worst insults, by the way, when you're watching a game. I've seen it. I've been through it. And it's either
at Blackfin.
It's that or
I'm not going to say things. I'm not going to say things. At Blackfin, in the comfort of my own home, I will say a lot of things. I will say a ton of things. I may or may not have said something about Mike Tomlin's daughters getting trained, ran on him because we lost.
All right. Before we get canceled, let's move right along. Before we start talking about Tomlin's,
I don't even know if Mike Tomlin has a daughter. Continue, but.
Dude, I'm going to go ahead. I'll read off my entire playoff bracket prediction first. Then I'll let you go ahead and go. As I told you, I have a bit of an edit here. Let's start it off. We already know what we picked, so I'm going to start it off in the divisional round, okay? Based on what I picked, I have Kansas City, who is going to end up going to see. Now they got to revise this. It's going to end up winning Tennessee. They're going to end up seeing Tennessee. And I then have, in the divisional round in the AFC, I also have the Buffalo Bills seeing the Steelers. Then what's going to happen there is Bills are going to win, Chiefs are going to win, defeating both. That's going to be our AFC championship game. And representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, for the first time since Jim Kelly took them there 4 times in a row and lost all 4 times, the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, that's right. Jonathan, as good old nude Michael Pharaoh Shanuti said, Jonathan Allen, a.k.a. Josh Allen, a.k.a. Dark Horse MVP, a.k.a. better than Lamar Jackson, a.k.a. will be better than Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Buffalo Bills. Going over to the NFC, based on my picks that I picked earlier here in our wild card gambling corner, I have Green Bay going to see the Los Angeles Rams. as they will defeat, as I said, the Seahawks. And that means that we're going to have the Washington football team named to be determined later date, but probably not, seeing the New Orleans Saints, where both teams will get crushed by the favorites here. That means New Orleans will go ahead and advance to the NFC Championship game, and Green Bay will go ahead and advance to the NFC Championship game. Ultimately, Green Bay will pull it out, in my opinion. Newt, I know you have a little something different there as well. You actually have two completely different representatives in the Super Bowl, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And then that's going to be, if you're following me here, a Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers Super Bowl. Aaron, you do it again, buddy. You win the Super Bowl. You and Devontae Adams popping champagne. Matt LaFleur rules the world. I can't wait. I am so excited. Packers, congratulations. Aaron Rodgers, congratulations. MVP Super Bowl year.
So I'm gonna go a completely different way. I'm just gonna do all my wild cards, all my division, all my champions. So for the wild card, I have the Buffalo Bills winning. I have the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, from my picks earlier, Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are the three that win in the AFC side, because I hate the Ravens. Fuck them. And the Colts can't run worth shit. Philip Rivers
I had
is
no
going to
idea.
say dag nabbit. So, and as well
Dang
as the
nabbit.
Browns, yes, we'll see what Boo Boo Smith-Schuster's little thing how helps him out. So on the other side,
I love that,
I don't
by the
even have
way.
to.
That really does sound like the kicked out Teletubby, doesn't it?
That's actually a copyright from Antonio Brown. He called it Boo Boo Smith-Schuster.
Oh, damn it. AB always on top of it, baby. Always quicker for the brand.
So over here on the other side, I kind of went chalk and one surprise. Obviously, I have the Washington football team, your team beating Tom Brady, that pretty boy fuck. And I'm telling you, this is a
Who
team
makes out and slips tongue to his son.
Exactly. There you
Triggered
go.
all Tom
And
Brady
Seattle,
fans.
I think Seattle has the Rams number right now for some reason. So I'm going to pick. I never bet against Russell. I never bet against Pete Carroll. They're 5-0 in home playoff games. So give me that, as well as give me the Saints. That's easy number. So now on the AFC side, we have the Kansas City Chiefs against the Tennessee Titans. It is a rematch from the AFC Championship game last year. Obviously, I'm going to pick my man who's always in cruise control, Patrick Mahomes. He's going to take them back to the AFC Championship for the third time in his 3 starts. And on the bottom, you think I'm going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers? You think I'm going to pick them? Fuck no. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills. So give me the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. And on the other side,
man that does not want to eat flatliners, huh?
And I'm going to pick the hip checker himself, the Green Bay Packers, to beat the Washington football team. It was a great run for the Washington football team. I think this is where it's going to stop. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is on a mission. And the guy who I'm picking to beat Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game is the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees beats the Seattle Seahawks, beats the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. Why did I pick him? Because I feel like this is Drew Brees' last season. And if I know anything about Drew Brees, other than standing for the flag, because he doesn't know what the fuck is going on, he is determined to do a lot of things, and winning a Super Bowl is one of them. He wins the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, who do beat the Buffalo Bills, who lose.
Oh shit! I didn't even
Drew
realize that
Brees
was
in the
your
States.
pick. Yep. Whoa! Hot off the presses.
I'm picking the New Orleans Saints because I believe in that defense. Cam Jordan, Davis, all of them, Malcolm Jenkins, all of them, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. They all are going to come out. They're all going to prove a point. You can't pick Kansas City to win the Super Bowl every year. It will be an easy pick, but I'm trying to go off chalk. I'm trying to have Drew Brees ride into the sunset. This is his last season, 100%. When they win the Super Bowl, he will retire on that podium. And that is it for face of the franchise, because we do what we do best. And I'm going to say one thing and one thing only. Welcome to the advertisement section of the show. Eyesight Glassware, mobile eye company. Get your eyewear today. The company that comes to you for their eye care needs. And Stuck Up Clothing. Their winter line is fresh. Their winter line is great. And is the finest clothing money can buy. As well as Seductions by Jax. She does the hairstyle. She does the lashes. You need her. She got you. We'll put the IG on there. All 3 IGs will be on the post on our Instagram stories. Follow their Instagrams as well as their websites, as well as Four Corner Studios. Follow us online. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all streaming services and YouTube. Follow us for bread and butter, Thoughtology, faithful franchise, free therapy,
Mm.
Degenerates R Us, maybe named to be determined a later date.
Love it, but probably not.
The Last Nice Guys, The Last Nice Guys, and 3 episodes of Hoopin' and Hollering. I am your host, Michael Isam Shanuti. That is Lil Joe. Stay breezy, stay easy, one love.
Yeah.
Hold on. So usually that's how we're going to end the show, but we want to end the show the right way.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, something really big happened. The Capitol, both of us living in DC, and we wanted to give our 2 cents because I think as podcasters we can't just let this go on and not address it. What we saw was very disturbing. What we saw was very uncultured here in America, in the sense of my parents are from Egypt. I saw the whole Arab Springs. That's something I would expect over there, and I hate to say it like that, but yeah. But there's too much hate in this country, especially now with the pandemic and everything, that we need to make sure that we're on the right side of history and we come out of this the right way. And that's why we kind of ended the show and then started talking about it. Because if you stayed on and listened to this part, I understand if you don't want to listen, you don't want to hear us talk your ear off. But that's kind of what we want, was like kind of like a few minutes just to say our piece on it. And for me personally, I just hope, thoughts and prayers to those people who died yesterday, and my thoughts and prayers to everybody who was affected by this. And I hate to say it this way, it's kind of what our year has come to. 2020 to 2021, it's kind of what the year has come to, and I'm sickened by it. I am disturbed by it, and I'm disturbed of how it was handled by the police force, by our government, and I just don't know what else to say. But I'm numb. I'm shocked. I'm everything in between. So
Yeah, I mean, and thank you if you are still listening to this and staying on. We do appreciate that. We understand that you maybe don't give a shit what your favorite football podcast has to say about this, but we still wanted to address this because this is something that really hit heavy for us, as it did all of you, right? Understandably so. And what I want to just add to what Nude said is what happened on Tuesday was just the latest blatant, disgusting, disturbing, just pure evil example of the blatant white privilege and divide of race in this country that we have. That was incited by our very own president to absolutely stomp on an institution when they stormed our Capitol, to put your feet up on somebody else's desk, to take selfies, to fucking wear your goddamn WWD outfit and raise the flag in the Capitol Hill, and then to not only not be arrested, but to almost be welcomed to a certain extent, it seemed like, by the people that are supposed to protect the integrity and the institution of the Capitol. I am ashamed of my race. I am ashamed to be American. I know it sounds a little extreme, but I really am. It's embarrassing as hell. It is. It truly fucking is. And I am ashamed to be an American at this certain point, and this has got to stop. I don't know what the hell we can do or how we can do it, but we have got to find ways as a country to band together and stop it, because this is, I mean, it's just beyond. It's beyond what seems repair, but I know this country is strong enough that we can hold together and we can find a way to not only push through this, but persevere and make sure that things should be equal the way they are always meant to be, and to have a straight and narrow line. And it's a long, long task that I think is going to take decades and decades to come, and we may never conquer it, but we've got to at least figure out some sort of solution now.
Right. And for us at Face the Franchise and Four Corners, we want to just give out our opinions on this stuff, because we're not shying away from any opinions. It's kind of like Joey said, man. Like, we just got to come together. And for us here, we love you guys. I mean, we're here. We're DC boys. We live right there, so we know exactly what's going on. It's right in our backyard. So for that, thank you for rocking with us one more time, and we hope you guys enjoy this wild card weekend. And stay safe out there.
Please do. Thank you.